What if I told you there was a character in Star Wars that was so powerful, they made the Jedi and Sith form an alliance just to have a chance of defeating them? If that wasn't enough, this character was capable of warping reality and even driving the minds of entire populations to insanity. That character is known as Abeloth, the Mother. Abeloth's story started as a mortal woman sometime before 100,000 BBY. She lived as a servant to the Ones, which you may remember from the Clone Wars, consisting of the Force gods, the Father, the Son, and the Daughter. The Son was the Force embodiment of the dark side, while the Daughter was that of the light side. It was the mother's responsibility to keep the peace between the two. As she was mortal, she grew old while the family of gods did not. She feared that she would lose her family as it was becoming more difficult to maintain peace between the son and the daughter. So, in a desperate attempt to save all that she loved, the mother drank from the font of power and bathed in the pool of knowledge. These were what granted the son and the daughter their force powers respectively. Unfortunately, the process corrupted and twisted her into the immortal force god Abeloth. Abeloth went from a mere mortal to what was described as a living force volcano. Abeloth had the ability to influence the minds of force-sensitive beings, such as Jedi, which she would then force drain to gain their force essence. Her physical strength was described to be 10 times that of Grandmaster Luke Skywalker. She was also a master of possession and transferring her life essence into other bodies, something even Palpatine struggled with. Abeloth emerged as a demonic figure with immense power, with her spirit turning into pure evil. In an attempt to save her family, Abeloth immediately used her new powers to control the son and the daughter. However, the father was able to protect them and fled the planet with his children, leaving Abeloth alone. The very reason she took desperate measures to acquire her new powers was to keep her family together. Now, her greatest fear was true as she was stranded on the planet. Knowing she had become an immense threat, the son and the daughter sought aid from an insectoid species called the Kilix. The Kilix essentially created a prison called the Maw, which was a cluster of black holes located near the planet Kessel to trap Abeloth. However, every couple thousand years when the flow of the Force would change, Abeloth would escape the Maw and wreak havoc on the galaxy. Each time she escaped, the son and the daughter would return to subdue Abeloth and return her back to the Maw. This process would repeat over thousands of years, ensuring the imprisonment of Abeloth. However, with what we saw in the Clone Wars with the death of the daughter and the son, alongside Anakin Skywalker deciding not to take the spot of the father, no one was waiting for the escape of Abeloth. Fast forward to 40 ABY, Jacen Solo, the son of Han and Leia, fell to the dark side and became the Sith Lord Darth Caedus. This started the Second Galactic Civil War, which pitted the Sith and Jedi against each other once again. It was in this war that the technology the Kilix built to contain Abeloth in the Maw was destroyed. Therefore, as a result of the war he orchestrated, Darth Caedus unintentionally freed Abeloth. And unlike the last times, there was no one to stop her. Abeloth was immediately drawn to Luke Skywalker, as she could sense his force power from across the galaxy. So, Abeloth used psychosis to remotely turn young Jedi into renegade agents, creating havoc on the galactic capital of Coruscant and against the Jedi Order. To find the cause, Luke Skywalker followed Jacen Solo's steps and came into contact with the Lost Tribe of the Sith, an isolated civilization of Sith on the nearby planet Kesh. The Font of Power is where Luke first encountered Abeloth. Luke directly approached a cloud of darkness in the font's steam, which transformed into golden hair, small silver eye sockets, and a mouth that stretched from ear to ear with razor-sharp teeth. They had short arms that ended in long tentacles, and as she reappeared, Luke felt a tentacle of coal that slithered around and moved up within his body. Abeloth extended a tentacle towards Luke with a smile, but he refused and she disappeared. Feeling her immense darkness, Luke knew that Abeloth was a looming threat of galactic importance. At the same time as her acts against the Republic, Abeloth was slowly withering down the Lost Tribe of the Sith, with what started as an alliance turned into equally heinous acts. Both the Jedi and Sith alike knew Abeloth was far too powerful for them to deal with. Realizing that their only option was to team up, Luke and the Sith tribe formed an alliance. Therefore, they departed to the Maw to end Abeloth once and for all. En route, Luke Skywalker suspected that Abeloth may be too powerful for even he and his new Sith companions to overcome. It was here where one of the Sith Lords explained how Abeloth could manipulate one's emotions and described her true form. On the approach to Abeloth, another Sith Lord heard Abeloth's call in his thoughts. Confused, he was manipulated into thinking that the alleged imposters who replaced the real Sith were secretly on Abeloth's side. Acting against the fake Skywalkers, he agreed to lead the Sith to Abeloth. With Luke Skywalker's guidance and the Sith High Lord, they went went to beyond the shadows of the planet to find Abeloth's location. They traversed the Lakes of Apparitions, but as they did so, a captain was pulled by 7 pale hands and dragged into the depths of eternity. A group of 22 Jedi and Sith then made their way to Abeloth's cave at her volcano, but 2 Sith were lost to the carnivorous plants of the planet. Initially greeting the Jedi and Sith as a former lover of Luke, Abeloth's true form was revealed. With her reveal, the Jedi and Sith charged at Abeloth. However, with a flick of her tentacles, she used the Force to seize a high-ranking Sith Lord and fired a blast of immensely powerful Force lightning at the Sith. Through the mayhem of the battle, Luke was left only with the Sith High Lord and 3 other Sith to defeat Abeloth. Abeloth's mocking laughter echoed from every direction as she disappeared and reappeared multiple times, whirling in a frenzy as she fended off the 4 remaining combatants. However, as they began to wear her down, a Sith Lord charged at Abeloth only to swing at Luke. The Sith had noticed an opening and took their opportunity to betray Luke and the Jedi despite the threat of Abeloth. Luke and his son Ben were forced to fend off both Abeloth and the Sith, with the Jedi ships engaging in battles in orbit. Abeloth, being heavily weakened, suddenly force repulsed all of her silence with a massive force wave and fled. She killed the 3 Sith Lords there, leaving Luke and the other Jedi injured. Determined, Luke chased her down the tunnel in which she disappeared, only to find Abeloth's body lying unconscious in the form of his old lover. All those that were being manipulated by Abeloth were broken free from her curse, and Abeloth was presumed defeated. Unknowingly, Abeloth escaped by sharing her Force essence with other entities and allied with the Sith tribe. Desperate to recreate her family, Abeloth abducted Ben Skywalker and a female Sith Lord. She attempted to force them to drink from the Font of Power, which granted her original family their powers. They resisted, and after a long battle, Luke and Sith Lord Darth Krayt defeated Abeloth in the astral realm beyond shadows. She was finally defeated until the next cycle of the Force, to where she will be released again to wreak havoc on the galaxy. It took not only the Jedi and the Sith to unite to defeat her, but the most powerful Jedi Grandmaster and Sith Lord at the time to simply send her back to the Maw. Had they not formed an alliance, the galaxy would have had an entirely different outcome.